We'll turn the game down a bit. There we go. Should be back up and running. How's it going, you guys? Been quite a while. Hopefully you're all doing well. I was seeing this in my YouTube feed a lot, so I just had the urge to play it. Time for some Feah and Hunga. Start a new game. I don't know much about this game. I'm not the best. I have like a couple hours of it into it. So I know a little bit. I know it's like brutal. And I played the first game. So I'm gonna go for a brawler class. This guy's just gonna be better in combat than most. Even though typically in a game like this, you want to avoid combat whenever you can. That's just delay. Get the character history? No, you do not want to do that. You get to actually do a lot of good stuff in here. The soothing sound of the rail tracks. You are not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. You can't help but let your mind wander. You reminisce what has led you to this point in life. For the majority of your life, you've only known the streets of the Vatican City. This is actually the first time in your life you're traveling this far from those narrow and crowded alleyways. Things don't look that fancy elsewhere. Traveling is overrated, you think to yourself. In your earliest memories, you remember spending time with your parents, but then suddenly, you just didn't have parents anymore. You can't remember what happened, but from one point onwards, it was just you and your sister against the world. You were only still 10 years old, but you had to make a living somehow. These will actually greatly change how you play the game. So this will give you a different skill. I think Burglar is going to be the best one because it gives you, what is it, lock picking. I think this gives you, like, steal. Steal's actually really great, but still, I like lock picking more. And this, I think, gives you some money. You learn lock picking. I know I did learn, like, this guy's, like, the rewards because I wanted to make a decent character build. And this is how you do the character builds in this game, which I think is really cool. It's like for the backstory. It's pretty fun. The Vatican City was full of streets kids similar to you, and in no time you learned the tricks of the trade. You tried your hand into breaking into apartments and stealing all the valuables you could carry. It worked for some time, but too often you got caught in the act, which resulted in you getting beaten up. Streets schooled you hard, but as you grew older, you noticed that you started to tower over those who bullied you before. If someone still tried to do you dirty, you were quickly able to give them a taste of your justice. Because of your size and skills in fighting, you start to attract attention of local street gangs that tried to recruit you as their muscle. This never sounded right to you. You had been extorted of your measly salaries too many times. You didn't want to do the same to anyone. But turning down small-time criminals only got you to further trouble. Almost every other night, you'd end up in the street fights. At one point, you realized that you were doing more fighting than actual work. Not to mention, that's where you got most of your money, too. You started to consider fighting as your job. Maybe it would be worth investing into more. You started to work out more regularly and followed a strict regimen. So this is train strength, it's just standard stuff, bulk up your mass, improve footwork, or I think this is defense. This is like evasion, and this is max health. I want more max health. So we're going to go for stamina. You started your days by running to the Tiberian River upstream, the 10,000 Steps of Penitence. Located at the heart of the city has become familiar to you. Day and night you'd be running those stairs up and down. At the end of your stamina did increase, and in following fights you could easily take one or two more hits than before. That's going to be important in a game like this. You were doing alright in fights, so much so that you started to build a little reputation on the streets. In no time you moved on to underground boxing rings, where there was more money on the table and less danger of the opponent pulling a knife in the middle of a match. While you were busy in the ring, your sister had grown into a beautiful young woman who attracted all kinds of admirers. It would have meant trouble if it wasn't for your mean reputation. Most low-life thugs in the streets knew that they'd have to answer to you if they tried anything dodgy. That didn't mean that there weren't those who tried. She started to get close with unknown monster Ricardo Cardo. He was the heir to the Ricardo branch of the family. The family was an organized body of criminals operating in the Vatican City. In all intents and purposes, the family was a mafia, but they also had deep ties to the church, which in turn was running the country. So it was a bit more complicated. Despite being a mobster, Ricardo seemed decent enough. He had a flirtatious and flattering way of speaking, and in general got along with everyone. He took notice in your skills and tried to casually recruit you to their ranks. You politely declined the offer. Since you didn't take the offer, Ricardo had another one on the platter. He proposed that he'd hook you up with a real boxing trainer to get you to the next level. You again declined, but your sister insisted that you'd at least try it out. You agreed. Things started to feel more professional the second you stepped inside the gym. The trader, an elderly gentleman who had an impressive record of previous apprentices, was impressed by your raw skills. He thought that the best way to push you further would be to choose where to specialize. Accuracy, evasion, defense, offense. Accuracy seems good. If you miss in this game, you're just good as dead. You do not want to miss. Like that's how you lose. So we're going to go, bare-fisted proficiency. That's good. His methods proved effective. Soon you had your first real bout in the ring and won the match with relative ease. Your sister and Ricardo were there to congratulate you. You continued with your winning streak. The hype around you was growing slowly. Even you started to believe the hype. Ricardo was able to organize big matches, one after another. You started spending more time inside the family quarters with Ricardo and your sister. Without noticing it, you had been pulled into the criminal world. What started as helping out a friend became a more frequent occurrence. Soon Ricardo showed his true colors as well. He had been building you up for a fated boxing match. Apparently your next opponent was a former family member who had cut all ties to the organization. Your job was to kill him in a boxing match. You politely declined, but at this point there was no turning back. Ricardo reminded that he got your sister back at his flat, and she'd feel it in her skin if you didn't comply. You didn't know what to do, so you found yourself in the ring with an ex-family member, and the bell rang. He was a tough opponent, but you managed to get the best of him. You were able to counter one of his attacks with and knock him out. Things moved in slow motion as you saw Ricardo in your corner nodding with a slow smile. You followed up your hit with another, and another, and another. You even stopped when the man hit the ground. The referee had to pull you away with all he got before you stopped. The damage had already been done. You had killed a person. Oh shit, we're murderers already. You were devastated by all this, but kept it all inside. This was only the beginning. Ricardo had plenty of dirty work for you to do, and at this point he had plenty of leverage too, your sister being the last resort every time you hesitated. Things had to change. Get your sister and flee the country, or get rid of Ricardo. We gotta fucking fuck up Ricardo over here. You learned killing a 10. That's a very powerful skill, and we needed it, so it had to be done. I think this makes it so, like, really weak enemies just flee the battle. Ricardo was wary of you. He seemed to sense you're killing a 10 from miles away. That's why he avoided seeing you alone. To the best of his abilities. He was too cocky to consider you a serious threat, though. As if he had you under his thumb, that proved to be a grave mistake for him. You were to meet Ricardo and a dozen of his henchmen. And, you had to meet him and a dozen of his henchmen at a local club to discuss another one of your many tasks. You'd been waiting for an opportunity to see him alone, but that opportunity never presented itself. Fair enough, you thought. The moment you got into punching distance, Ricardo had a split-second realization of what was happening before you knocked him off his feet. The little rat tried to slip away, but you grabbed him by his throat and kept slamming him onto the floor until he stopped moving. Damn! Brutal! In your rage, you lifted him up and threw him over the railing. He fell onto the floor into the center of the club's dance floor. You saw him fall headfirst to the ground. You had succeeded in what you set out to do. Get out of the club was secondary. You had to fight through a mob of Ricardo's goons. Somehow you made it out from the back door with only minor injuries and ran away as fast as you could. You ran away from the crime scene. The problem was that now both the family and the law enforcement of the city were after you. Just then you received a phone call from your sister. She had been sent to Ricardo's summer villa in the country of Valand some days prior. Oh, she's dead. Rip. You explained the situation to her, and the two of you decided to meet up in the country of Rondon. There was no possibility of you living in Vatican City anymore. Oh, this is where we're going. You had to act fast before the police would catch up on you. What did you take with you before leaving the city? Luxury goods gives you like heroin and stuff, which is pretty great. You know, you always want heroin in these types of games. You get food, or you can get medical stuff. This one is probably the best, but I want the heroin. The pep pills. I don't know what the pep pills do. I should actually look at that. The heroin could be used to recruit someone. That's why I'm trying to get it. You took the first train that left the country. The destination was an obscure little town called Prehevel. That's where we're heading in the country of Bohemia. You had no idea where that place was, but you figured you could plan your trip better once you got there. All right, that's where we're headed. Save your character history? Yep, let's do it. I've played a little bit. My best character got to like an hour and a half, or an hour and 40 minutes in this game. We got one on 50, and now I'm doing a Marcus Robert. I tried a Levy run. Nah, Levy's not where it's at. Skip the intro? Yes, we're gonna skip the intro. I think the game is censored. If not, who cares? I'll censor it after the fact then. But I'm pretty sure I got the right one. The train seems to have stopped. All right, let's go. Red herb. There's any loot in here. This game is about finding loot, so this is really important. See what's in here. We got some ammo. Ammo is rare, so finding bullets is great. Pep pills. So that item that we got. It gives you a lot of speed, so you get to attack faster. It's pretty good. Take that. That is the map of the city. Oh, an empty suitcase. What's up, mister? Alright. I'm late. I'm so late. So that has to be the best course of action for now. You interrupt the discussion. This is that dancing dude that's above me. You see him just sitting down. So is who are you? What's going on? Don't let me bother you. I'll be on my way. I'll just ask him what's going on. You must be just as clueless as the rest of us. The train left us all here at the outskirts of the city. Oh, in that intro that we skipped, pretty much you end up, we all have the same dream, and it's like a battle royale. The guy in the dream is telling us, oh, you gotta kill each other, and the last one standing essentially wins. So that's what everyone in this whole crowd has seen, and they're all stranded in this place now. That's odd. All the train personnel, everyone gone, no explanations. That's a mystery, all right. This is sort of like a casual playthrough, but like, yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be very casual. I'm not doing any speedrun and shit. I don't even know like all the places. I know there's like hidden spots where there's like guns and like ammo in the ground. I don't know where to look. Well, yeah, we decided to stay and wait here for a while. But I do know those places exist. I just don't know where to find them. They're just like some like random spot in the woods. Someone has to come for the train sooner or later. If you're not in a hurry, I recommend just taking a seat inside and trying to relax. And fine. Yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Marianne. My name is Olivia. Lovely to meet you all. You can call me August. He's a cool one. Woman with the brown jacket. Karen Sawyer, a journalist on duty. Hi, I'm Henrik. This mysterious gentleman over here is Oza. Yep. It was Oza, right? He doesn't like this. He was like, nah, I wasn't gonna tell everyone. Bro was like, what the hell, man? Why are you gonna say that shit? I shouldn't have been talking to you earlier. Silly, man. He's probably talking to him when they were just on the train before we had the nightmare. And then he's like, shit, now that I know it's like a battle royale, I don't want to tell anyone. Shit. Because he's a yellow mage, and in this game, if you played like the other games, like the lore of the yellow mages is they use anything to their advantage and shit. So they use like the Garogoroth spells, like their dancing pattern, like above here. This is them actually like casting spells and shit. So that's what he's doing when he's like doing that. But it's like that's their fighting style to always be moving and like unpredictable in battle and shit like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. That guy seems like the leader, or the brains of the group. Got an eye patch and shit. Before you all here were talking about this, you saw a peculiar nightmare. That's the nightmare I was talking about, where he was talking about us all being like a battle royale. I guess. Like we know what of it. Everyone saw the same dream before waking up in the train. The festival of Termina. It all felt too real to pass off as just a dream. Not this talk again. We should ask that army pig, the Bremen pig. He was in way too much of a hurry to leave. I bet he knew something. Oh, so the guy there was another dude that just automatically left. This smells like a sadistic army experiment. Sounds exactly like something the Bremen army would be a part of. She hates the Bremen apparently. She's just like, fuck them. They had similar hallucinogens experimented on war prisoners. Now that the war is over, they have to get their guinea pigs elsewhere. I wish I had your capacity and fights, but how did you make it? How did they make it the exact same dream, though? I really had a hard time believing every conspiracy theory floating around. I'm a journalist. I've covered wars, you know. I don't need some flaky eye patch foreigner telling me what's possible and what's not. You haven't seen what I've seen during these past few years. She is biased against them. I've covered wars too, you know. All men and women for the past decade or two have covered wars. What's your point again? I've seen my fair share of hallucinogens. As a doctor, and I could tell from my first-hand experience that there are no known chemicals that create visions that vivid. Especially visions that are identical with this many people. That's what I was saying. Like, you can't do it like with all the multiple ones. You feel a tension rise. I might have read this before, though, because I played the game a couple times. But it's been a while. You feel the tension rising between these two people. Oh, they're not chilling. Shit. I take it that we're done here, and as much as I like it, I don't have time to play happy campers with you people. I have a job to do. Which way is the city? It's upwards. Know that much. Go to the spire. That's what the battle royale is happening at. Here, yeah, right there. That spire. We're all supposed to head there. Last one standing wins. Can you see the tower standing erect? That tower is a mark of the center of Prehavel. You can hike through the forest to get there. It's not that far away. Cool. All right then. If I see anyone, I'll let them know you guys were waiting here. Have fun finding a scoop from that sleepy town. You know where to find us if anything comes up. What are you gonna do? Drugs. Wait here, I guess. I'm not in a hurry. Okay, that's kind of cool. Day 1 of the festival. Monologue with the moon. Hello. Nice day, isn't it? It is a little foggy, true enough, but it's peaceful in its own right, don't you think? Yeah, I guess it is. Fog's kind of cool. Did you ever give you your name? Man with the checkered pants. What's your name? Nah, something doesn't seem right here. What do you plan to do? Probably just head to who? No telling how long it takes to get to the train. Okay, I can't ask his name. Good afternoon. It's Kaida Tanaka. Hello, Tanaka. I have some urgent business to the city. Should I go on foot? Or wait for the train to get? Yeah, go on foot, man. I think you're right. The city isn't that far after all. See you, man. He's gonna have a good time over there. And we talk about that dream? This forest creeps me out. Alright, I'm gonna see Tachanka heading out. You pick up some herbs. We gotta grab the shit that's good. I'm spamming like the interact key everywhere, just in case. Because there are like hidden stuff. Oh, is that something good? Lavender. Grab some of this. Get some beer. Hell yeah. Anything cool in here? Takes on rotten meat. Oh, nice. Oh, there are maggots crawling inside the piece. It's delish. Blue herb. It's good. Got an egg. Turnip. Don't know what that plant is, so I can't grab it. That's why actually that skill's pretty good. Blue herb. There we go. It's another good one. Let's grab some of this. Green herb. I don't think I know what that is, so I can't grab it. Can't go that way. It's blocked off. Lavender. Is there anything I can... Oh, a mushroom. Nice. Just pressing the spam button, or spamming the A button. Seeing if I can find anything. I cannot. I know there's like hidden stuff just randomly on the ground. There's like debug tiles, but in this game it's like loot, just like storage, just like loot crates that you can find in the woods. An eerie silence fills the air, devoid of any life. I shouldn't waste too much movement. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Yeah, these guys are just straight up dead. The hell? The bucket fell. What's it doing over there? Oh, Tanaka, it isn't what it looks like. Or Tanaka. What is this place? What on earth is going on? They are dead. It wasn't me, man. I would not rip their arms and legs off like that. Shit. This is horrible. Should we report this to someone? The local police? Probably. That would be the sensible thing to do. That one. Oh, a loot. Let me in there. Re-loot. Oh, I couldn't go that way. I have to go this way. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh, holy shit. You just got him. Nice. Alright, I'll let you deal with that. Termina is upon us. Okay, I'll deal with that. I'm leaving. Lavender, rotten meat, tomato. White vial. See, if you step on these, it makes sound. Can you hear it? Maybe the music's too loud. And now with what breaking in, we could definitely do it, right? No, we can't. We can't even like lockpick this open. Well, it's just kind of annoying. Book of Fears. Look at the fears. The Book of Fears and Phobias. Nosophobia, fear of disease and contamination. Phasmophobia, fear of ghosts. Yep, I know that one. That's a game. Uh, Phobia, fear of magic and otherworldly powers. Erotophobia, fear of sex and genitals. Zoophobia, fear of both animals and beasts. Teratophobia, fear of monsters and malformations. All right. So, do we have a fear? This is fear and hunger. I have phasmophobia. Oh wait, so I'm scared of ghosts and shit. It's actually kind of cool. I'm gonna just eat a whole tomato right now. Delish. All right, so my character's like worse against ghosts. That's cool to know. Nah, we ain't fighting. Nah, you get away. Shit. Hell nah, bro. We ain't dealing with that. I want that head. Mushroom. Mushroom. All right, there we go. That's good. I think you actually want to have no weapon. Glass vial, it's good. This is just the poop place. No point going in there. Luckily, I have lockpicking. Oh, can't do it. Rat. Duct tape. Bone saw. Okay. Oh. What are you doing over here? Whoa, you just jumped that shit. August is crazy. Look at him go. He just fucking tapped me. I can't even get over that shit. Damn. Get rolled. Hell's making those noises. Paprika. Paprika. Hell yeah. Dang, I couldn't get away. A mysterious beast approaches you with saliva dripping from its gaping mouth. Creature seems to be in hunting mode. Your wounds are in vain. The beast is clearly out for blood. Let's see if I can one-shot it. Got him. Alright, I can one-shot these guys. Bam, bam. Oh, wait, I didn't even get a crit. Black vomit. Oh, he's got me. No, I missed. Oh, no, that's gonna suck. Oh, I just took a lot of damage I did not need to take. I could just punched him again. He was 100% good. Oh, that's so bad. Alright, so now I'm poisoned, but at least I didn't get any other injuries. I think I need him. Oh, the white file is what heals that. Dude, I played that so badly. Oh, it's fine. Mushroom. This was an old rusty hatch here. Now let's open it. Smell of rot strikes immediately upon opening the hatch. Who's this? This will be our new friend for the rest of the game. Red-haired mechanic. Oh, it's you. You were in the train too, right? What are you doing here? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? The train engine is busted. I'm looking for spare parts. I saw the army truck and figured there might be something worth checking out. Turns out I was right. Yeah. How about we hop in and see what's under here? That sounds great. Yep, let's check it out. That's the spirit. Tunnel reeks of death. Wow, this place is incredible. What the hell? It just smells like super shit. Like they're just like, yeah, dude, this is awesome. I heard the Eastern Union had a big underground network around Prahavel, but I wasn't expecting this. Yeah, it's quite something. Oi, we haven't introduced ourselves, haven't we? I'm Abella. Nice to meet you. All right. What's up, Abella? You don't get to say a word, but I'll be traveling with you for now. You don't. All right. Sure, I guess. You're more than welcome. Heads or tails? Let's see if we get any loot. We get no loot. Okay, that's great. It's terrible. Come on. Gasoline canister. Nice. Just checking everything. You don't want me losing any loot? I think I already checked that, yeah. Combat ration. That's gonna be good for food. Trying to beat up a door. I don't think that works. The door is too strong for us. Nah. Yeah, we can't beat up that door. That's the best thing ever. Alright, found 2 gasoline canisters. I'm lost now. Oh, I can't beat this door. Run away from the door! Luckily, we were able to get away from the door. Alright, that's all the loot we need. Pretty good loot, right? We got a new party member. Gotta get some food. think we can beat him up. Oh yeah, we just one shot him. Nice. Didn't I have lockpicking? Let's go, another white vial? This is great. Oh, no more radio? Get some black matter? Let's have some. You have to step on the glass there? Egg, let's go. Moldy bread. Guy in here. Let's get him. Beat him up. Alright, this should be easy. Markov with one tap him. Oh wait, they survived. Oh, there we go. That's why I had the other one. Rusty pipe. This. Let's go downstairs. It's a basement here. Essential. Don't have anything to write on it with. Found a carrot. There we go. Found some food. My guy needs some food actually. I think it's just we just gotta go this way. Alright, up here we go. Oh, this is over from here then. Nice. Turnip? Oh my. Amazing. Note to self, don't get caught by these guys. Can I get in there? I was trying to get into like the box. Okay, so the censorship mod is working. He's the one for no nudity. Light blue vial. Pistol? Oh! Dude, we got an actual pistol now. That is huge. You must play a promise to never hold a firearm ever again. However, the circumstances what they are, you find it surprisingly how light the pistol feels in your hands after all this time. Marco is out of ammo. Oh, so I don't have any ammo. Okay. Okay. But that is a good find. Really good find. We need like 9mm or something like that. Oh, ooh, what is this guy? Hello, mister. Beat him up. What was that? What was that? What was that? Brave. Files losing his cool because of because of your lack of understanding. Furiously, he lifts his mask. The mask seems to have melted on his face partially, but underneath it, you can see a row of sharp teeth grimacing at you. Fails? Uh-oh. No more talking. Only the vile survive. Rare, take me. Oh, that's unlucky. Oh, game over. Dude, okay. That's how it goes. Game over. We gotta restart from the beginning. We didn't save. Actually, we don't have to do that, though. I guess. Could play as Oza now. You almost had it. Dude, that's a 50-50. You win. We just got the unlucky coin toss. Otherwise, I would have just gone for the pesticide spray right at the beginning. Dang. That's unlucky. Try a different one. We could do the person that doesn't have legs. Yeah, I want to try to do the person with no legs. It'd be fun. Olivia. I don't know what their backstory will give, though. This will probably just be a stream of just be talking about reading the characters' backstories. This is probably what's actually going to happen. Moving sound of the rail tracks. You are not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. You can't help but let your mind wander. You remember to insist what has led you to this point in life. You remember moths, blue noctids, moths to be precise. This is your first memory as a child, you and your twin sister sitting in the backyard, illuminated by the cold blue hue of the moon. Instance where it was just the two of you sharing a moment were rare. That's probably why those moments mattered to you the most. You and your twin sister were born at the strike of midnight at the turning point of months. Thus you were born with different birth signs. One was born with a shadowed soul, and one with a radiating soul. Since that moment, it was evident that the two of you would lead very different paths in life. Just as predicted, you were the polar opposites of each other from very early on. You were fragile and weak in build, whereas your sister, Raela, was an active and adventurous child that could have easily been an athlete if she just chose to. You stuck indoors reading books for the most of your time. Your sister spent her time outside making friends with other kids of the neighborhood. Despite your differences, you took solace from each other. In the strict religious household you grew up in, one thing was common between the two of you. You both wanted out of the ever-watching eye of your parents and their religious dogma. You found escapism from the nature of botanism. Your sister, also being academically gifted, took interest in science. She would dedicate her time to new sciences that centered around advanced engineering and the top of the line technology. Her taking interest in the academia did irk you a little bit, as if she stepped into your territory. Given stick to botanism, yeah, we're just gonna be like plants. You became undergrowth awareness. Let's see. Kind of cool. While you're occupying with your world of botanists, your sister would often quietly join your reading session, burying herself into your own books. Despite your differences, those reading sessions really create a strong bond between the two of you. During your high school years, a disaster struck. You suffered multiple small strokes in a short period of time and were left bedridden. Naturally, you were terrified of what could have been causing this. Your parents first turned to religious healers for aid, but nothing seemed to work. Your sister tried to persuade them to seek out modern doctors, but your parents were slow to react to her pleas. After getting no results, your parents finally gave in, but it was too late at that point. The diagnosis was that you had an abnormality of the spinal cord that affected the blood flow and its supply. You underwent a long operation in hopes of fixing the issue, but unfortunately things didn't go well, and you were bound for a wheelchair for the unseeable future. If something had been done sooner, maybe things could have been different. What followed was an intense period during which you tried many different medical treatments, all for nothing. There was no escaping the wheelchair. Your legs did have some minor function, but they were far too weak to carry your weight properly. The world felt like such an unfair and hostile place after all you had gone through. All this just further created contrast between you and your sister. You couldn't help but be envious of her. Her life seemed to roll forward without hiccups of any kind, whereas yours struggled with each step you took, quite literally. Nevertheless, the two of you continued, if not on the same path, then on the same lane. At the very least, you would both entered the same university in Bremen. Naturally, you were studying botanism and the natural science, and your sister studied new computer science and engineering. You both were tremendously relieved, and you had finally moved out of your parents' sphere of influence. Like always, you and Rhea were the polar opposites. Why would have things been any different in the university? You had trouble getting acquainted with other students, but your sister, on the other hand, was already leading the students' council, and was even getting very familiar with one of the university professors. Supposed to be a snitch, try to steal the affection of the professor, or be the plant one. I'm gonna know all the plants. I'm gonna be able to grab all of them right from the beginning of the game. Advanced botanism. Let's go. Now we'll be able to get all that shit. Just as you expected, your sister and the professor had an obvious connection. You were not sure whether you felt jealous for the fact that your sister garnered the attention from the opposite sex, or that someone else was forming a connection with her. Either way, you didn't think too much about it. It wasn't all bad anyways, as you made good friends with the professor for your sister. Your sister's life continued smoothly. You were constantly ranked top of your class, and the nature seemed to lift its veil of secrets the further you got into your studies. Your sister did even better at school. Apparently she was practically a genius in her field. She took part in the special students exchange program between the Bremen Empire and the Eastern Union. She would get to see the world while you were stuck on your laurels. Nothing new there, you pondered. In any case, the time had come for you to choose where you would specialize in your botanical field. Specialize in poisons or specialize in folkloric side of botanism? I kind of like poison more. Toxicology. You graduate and start your own research in botanism, while also working at the biggest greenhouse in Bremen. What should have been a brand new start in life felt more like you falling into place to gather moss, living your life for your sister's amazing tales. Her research abroad seemed to open many doors for her. The Eastern Union hired her to work in top secret facilities around the Central Europa, and would receive letters from her frequently, always from a different country. She could never fully reveal what she worked on, but she did say that despite working for the army, her inventions would be for the better of mankind, not for war. Doesn't sound like that worked out too well. I think the Bremen army's going crazy right now. It all sounded incredible, because remember the Karen person was talking about that. It all sounded incredible, and you were genuinely happy for her, really. Only the letters came to a halt all of a sudden. You wouldn't hear for Rahela for months. 6 months, your parents got information that Rahela had been arrested, accused of treason. Oh shit, she's dead. She had committed serious crimes against the Bremen Empire. That's at least the official story. By the time you heard of this, she had already been in an undisclosed Bremen prison for months. You felt helpless. There wasn't much you could do. The next time you heard of her was when you read news about a terrorist group called Nameless Liberation Underground breaking her free from prison. What had your sister gotten herself into? A terrorist organization? The news really bothered you. You definitely heard of the nameless Liberty Underground before, but where? Then you remembered it. Professor Rayla had been seeing during her school years and mentioned the organization in a passing comment. You returned to the university to confront your professor only to find out that he had been executed several months prior. He had been accused of treason and had been sentenced to be hanged in the middle of the battlefield. Something weird was definitely going on. They got some crazy shit. They got martial law over there. Martial law of a dictator. You got to search through this office and found several letters through Rahela. Apparently, the two had been in a letter corresponding long after Rayla had graduated. In the last letter from Rayla had a cryptic writing about a cube. Eastern Union had been desperately trying to replicate the cube, but to no avail, whatever that meant. Rayla was worried that the operation in Prahevel was what Kaiser of the Bremen army was after. There is still time before he could get here. I still have time. Those were Rayla's last words. Upon further investigation, you found that Prahevel was a medium-sized city in the country of Bohemia. That is the last known location of your sister, and that is where you decided to head without delay. What, with a real adventure ahead of you, how did you prepare for this trip? Find something to read. We got Alchemia. Okay, nice. Does that give me like a new? Are they just dreams? Yeah, we're gonna save this. Now the cripple. Yes, we're gonna skip the intro. We got a whole wheelchair. Nice. Healing. Green are commonly used on open wounds to prevent infection. Red have little to no effect on their own, but when used together with other herbs, have a boost. Oh, so these boost effects. Lavender there. Ease anxiety and fear. Keeps you ease away. Red plus green, greater healing. Green plus red, antidote for mild poison. Blue plus blue, blue vial. Make fire. What items do I have? Anything right now. Thank goodness there were some people still around. Yep, still around. Kind of wait for you actually. I'm just gonna skip for this because we were already reading this earlier. Introduce myself. I kind of like that a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. So I move the chat stuff as well, though. Should be fine. All right, I'm just messing around. Just wait here, I guess. I'm not in a hurry. Day one. Monologue with the moon. I haven't gotten past day one yet. Hello, mister. Introduce yourself. Curly haired man. He doesn't seem to be interested in small talk. Oh, well, that's it. It's over. I can't grab any of these flowers as well. Get some rotted meat, double rotted meat. Okay, so nothing good. White pile is decent. Is actually great. It's poison. Nettle. What does nettle do? This time I do know all the plants, so that's gonna be great. What's this one? More nettle. What is that one? Oh, I think that's a blue herb. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just normal blue herb. We were able to get that last time. Yep. Where'd that rat go? Where's it going to? How do you condense nettle? Also known as stinging. If you leave the stem and have many hollow stinging hairs, it causes valuable pain if touched. The hairs won't cause any real damage, but they do irritate quite a bit. It gives you something to your mind. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool though. I want to craft more stuff. Oh, I need more red herb. Red herb is like the good stuff. Mushroom. Poison hemlock. Oh, there we go. A lot of poison hemlock right here. They're telling me this is the stuff you need for pretty much the rest of the game. So they're giving me a shit ton of it. So I'm going to be poisoning enemies with this build. At least that's the idea. Just zooming around in a wheelchair. Alright, let's see. Guys are dead over here. Bucket's gonna go crazy. Nice. Chocolate's gonna be like, what the hell? You did this. How'd you do? Why? Yep, they're all dead. It's just kind of bad. What is that over there? Wild Daga. Oh, I was hoping that was red herb. I have no idea what this does, though. I want to pick it all up. That looks like it gives you confusion. I have no idea. Yeah. Oh, get rolled. I can go up the stairs. Yo. Character's broken. But I want to be able to use stairs because I'm in a wheelchair. Oh, like speak of the devil. Medical science. Okay. Oh yeah, so it is concussion that they would give you. Okay, so I don't want to get that at all. Bleeding wounds, mild poisoning, poison, severe poisoning. Yeah, that sounds about right. Infected wound, infected leg, blindness or other eye trauma, severe mental trauma, severe physical trauma, nausea, sickness, confusion, withdrawal symptoms, severe withdrawal symptoms, irritation, burn, temporary paralysis. Stages of hunger, stages of fear. It means to cover any effect. Okay. It's kind of cool. Woodsman letter. Alright. So now we can even know why the woodsman did all whatever this is. You can't just go down. That's awesome. I like that. One way. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Oh god! Return vein. The woodsman is clearly out for blood. We're gonna run. Unable to escape. Oh, I'm dead. I just lost an arm. Oh shit. Yeah, it's over. Run! Unable to escape. Oh. Now I lost my other arm. I lost both my arms. Shit. I can't move. I can't move because I have no arms. Yeah, I have no arms and legs. So, well, my legs don't work and I have no arms. That's tragic. Well, that's this game. Fear and Hunga. Well, even though we got nowhere in the game, still fun enough. We got to do some character backstories. Do a little bit of looting. Didn't get past day one though. How it goes. Alright, that'll be that. You guys all have a wonderful day. See y'all.